What up, though? Jamelia RPR coach and strategist. I want to talk about what does it mean to build up your influence as an expert. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, if that is who you are and that is what you represent, you're building your personal brand, then this video is for you. So let's get into it. So first, I want to talk about one. If you hear me talk, I always talk about when it comes to PR, when it comes to marketing for business owners, for entrepreneurs, I say that you have to be the expert, but most people always ask, who are the experts? What makes you expert? Am I expert enough? So first, let's start this conversation by kind of breaking down what it means to be an expert. Now, when it comes to being an expert, that means that you are working within your industry. You have the skill set, you have the knowledge, you have the expertise. You've been doing it for a while. And you have been able to give people results. You have been able to share your message. You have been able to, help people make a difference in their life. Most of us experts, we have a unique spin on things. There's a certain way that we approach problems. We are problem solvers, but we do it in our own unique way. We have an understanding that it's not just, some cookie cutter method. So this usually goes for coaches, this is for consultants, this is for service providers, and this is for people who have products that are unique to market and their products are something that requires an explanation. Like if it's just a pen, you can't necessarily be the expert of a pen because everybody has one. Everybody knows how to use it. It's not something unique that you created, but maybe you created a pen that, I don't know, reads minds. Then you are an expert in how that technology has come in the form of a pen. So being an expert means that you have a unique spin on things within your industry. You're very knowledgeable. You've already done the research. Maybe you've been to school for it. Maybe you have some certificates regarding that topic. But that is what the experts are, and that's who I'm talking to. So if you have a service, if you have a product, and you know that you're the best out there, then this video is for you. So let's talk about what it means to have influence. Like that's a word we keep hearing a lot, right? She's an influencer. He's an influencer. I want to be an influencer. Really, an influencer is a person who can engage with you and cause you to take action. So an influencer is somebody who, if they're wearing a t-shirt, you want to wear that t-shirt. So if they tell you that I'm selling t-shirts, that's on me because of who they are, because of what it is that they represent, because of their success, their knowledge, their business acumen. That is the thing that you want to follow. They are able to have followers and they're able to make sales. Those are who the influencers are. So when it comes to having expert influence, what does that mean? That means that you are a professional in what it is you do. It means that you have knowledge and you have something to sell, and you want to build your influence with people so that they understand your methods, so that, they can ask you for media interviews. When it comes to having you on a podcast, you're the person that people should and want to talk to because you have a unique perspective, because you have ideas to share, because you are knowledgeable about a thing. So that's what it means to have expert influence. All right. So what I want to take you guys through now is the strategy to building up expert influence, the strategy to all of us professionals and executives out there, what it takes to have influence and what that actually does for you. What I call it is the expert influence method. And I do this with all of my coaching students, but I just wanted to give y'all some quick free game so that you can put this into action for your business today, so that after you watch this video, you are confident and secure in what it is you need to do to position yourself as the go-to expert. So when it comes to having expert influence, the very first thing that you have to do is to define your goal. Like if you are to be positioned as the expert, if you are to have influence, what do you actually want to happen? I think that that's something that gets glossed over so much in, the marketing of small business and the influence building of entrepreneurs and things of that nature. People aren't necessarily really being strategic when it comes to goal setting. People are like, I got a business and I want to make money. Ma'am, sir, that's not a goal. You have to actually think about, is it, how much money I want to make, how many people that I want to connect with. Actually have a goal, so that you can define your target market, so that you can define the audience that you're talking to. I want to make however much money in accordance to this unique group of people. I want to help them do something. I want to help 100 people in business this year. So really think about, what are my goals? Like, that's always step one. Like, what are my goals? And who is the people that's going to help me reach that goal? Is that going to be, people that I work with? Is that going to be an audience that I'm going to speak to? How do I get in front of those people? What are my goals? The only way to actually build yourself up as an expert is to have a goal tied to that. Some of the goals that I've helped people create is, I want to be in front of my target market. Okay, well, let's think about, who's your target market. Let's think about, who are the people that's actually willing to pay you for services. And then we can create goals around those things. So you just have to be crystal clear on your goals. So always, one, set your goals. Set your goals and know your audience. All right, so 2, the next thing that you need when it comes to building expert influence is you need to have your story together. You need to be able to tell people who you are, what it is you do, why it is that you do that thing, and your journey along the way that has brought you to where you are now. So many people are missing that. And when we see those type of business owners, they're always like, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. But you're like, why? Like, I don't even see the value in what it is that you have to offer. So building up your personal brand, which is having the ability to share your story, having the ability to tell people why in your story that they should rock with you, they should do business with you, they should interview you on their podcast, you should be on this news outlet. That is hugely important. You have to have your brand messaging together and let people know why you are the person to go to for certain information, why you are the person whose opinion they should seek out when they're looking to accomplish certain things. So that's number 2. Now let's talk about number 3. Now, number 3 is you getting media attention, but you have to be trained for that. A lot of PR people don't talk about that, but that's kind of something that we all do in the background. We make sure that when you get the opportunity to talk to media outlets, when you get the opportunity for the spotlight, that you're ready for it. It's beyond, just that storytelling. Like, you may have a great story to share, but it takes you like an hour to actually get through the entire story of, when you first started out to where you are now. So with media training, that gives you the opportunity to talk according to the outlet. So let's say that you're sharing on video like this. You have a longer opportunity to talk about your business, to talk about your brand, to talk about the things to talk about the things that make you unique, right? But what happens when you go on a podcast? How much time do you have? Have you figured out how to tell that story in bite-sized portions so that it's still effective? Today, I actually talked to one of my students, and she got the opportunity to present for a BNI group. And what those groups are is you go in, and I think that you're given like 3 to 4 minutes to introduce your business. So do you know how to actually tell your story in 3 to 4 minutes? And she did. She told me, she's like, I was feeling so confident when I went to this networking event this morning because I worked with you and I knew what to say and I knew how to say it very quickly and I knew how to just get to the point. So many of us struggle with getting to the point. We think we have to keep talking and talking until it happens, but sometimes you don't have such an opportunity to just keep talking until people understand. So you need to know how to tell that story in a constraint, a restricted amount of time, if that's what you need to do. So if it's a podcast, if it's a radio interview, maybe you're shooting a 30-second commercial, maybe you have the opportunity to present in front of a group and they're like, hey, you've only got 2 minutes, so say what you could say, but you need to be able to say that thing and get it right in 2 minutes. So that's really the importance of building up your expert influence, because it is something that's going to help you be able to, in those networking situations, in those quick moments of passing by or maybe an elevator ride, whatever that is, to be able to say what you got to say in the right amount of time and really be able to change people's mindsets about what you offer and really get them to understand your value in small amounts of time and in long amounts of time. So media training is super important when you're looking to build up your expert influence. The fourth one, you have to have a clear strategy and a roadmap. I know that I touched on that just a little bit, but if you really think about it, you have to know when to make a left turn, when to make a right turn, when to go up the stairs, when to go down the stairs. It's so important that you're crystal clear, because so many of us are wasting time just running around in circles trying to get things done, running around in circles, creating a lot of content, creating a lot of video, and it's not moving the needle for us because we don't actually have a strategic plan to move us beyond that. So you really, once you know your brand story, once you have your goals together, once you know how to speak, to people according to the time that you have available, you really want to be sure that you're doing things that are going to move the needle for your business. You don't just want to do anything that you can Google, because, if you Google something, it's a million things that you could do when it comes to marketing. It's a million things that you can do when it comes to pitching yourself even. So what you want to do is have something that you can map out and you can see if it works best for you, because there are so many options. You need to know what works best for you and if it's going to work for you, if that's the best option. So always be sure you have a clear plan when you're going after getting more eyeballs on your business. Now, let's talk about the fifth one. I want you guys to start following a solid process and system, one that you can put on paper. You can say, do this thing first, do this thing second, do this thing third. So many business owners aren't able to scale because they don't have processes. When it comes to PR for your business, when it comes to, building up your expert influence, getting more attention for your business, getting media attention, you need to have an ABC and a 1, 2, 3 that you can follow and that your team can follow. Like, it's not always just going to be you in your business, right? So you want to be able to have people who can come in, if you're going to hire a publicist, you should know what process you're supposed to go through. If you're going to start working with a PR firm, a PR agency, you want to make sure that they're taking you through the right process, because so many of us are wasting time, we're wasting money because we don't really understand the process, or we don't already have one for ourselves. So one thing about building expert influence is getting a process and a system and a flow for what it is you do, for how you pitch your business, for how you generate leads, for how you attract attention to your business. There needs to be a system, even when it comes to determining if an opportunity is right for you. Like, opportunities are everywhere. There are so many chances for you to put yourself out there. But what's the right way to do? And how do I determine if that's the right opportunity for me? I have a process that I take my students through. Excuse me. When it comes to determining if an opportunity is right for you. Should I actually book this speaking engagement? Should I pay for this vendor booth, or should I be, the sponsor for this event? Like, what are you doing to check off yes, 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 or no, no, yes, no, and really determining if that's the right opportunity for you and what is going to be the ROI for that. That is hugely important. And then next, you want to start automating how you're getting in front of your audience. You want to start coming up with a real plan to connect with your target audience. And that is the last thing that you do in your business. A lot of people are trying to purchase Facebook ads or trying to speak on large stages before they've nailed down all the other things that we've talked about, before they've nailed down how they come across as an expert, before they've nailed down how to tell their story within the right time frame and the strategy that they're using on stage to pitch their business. People are, doing all of these tactics and scaling before they've done that foundational groundwork. So I always say, it is great for you to start scaling with automation, getting you an email list together, getting a text messaging service together, doing all of these things. But before you do that, because it's the last thing that I say you do, you want to know how to tell your story. You want to know how to pitch your business, and you want to know how to talk about and pitch your business within certain time constraints, because you never know how much or how little time you will have when you meet your ideal client, when you meet the investor that you've always been looking to work with. You don't know how much time you're going to have. So to pique their interest and to make sure that they want to work with you, you have to know what to say. You have to know how to say it. You have to know, how much time you have and how to bring those things together. So when you're building up your influence, you're trying to get more people to pay attention to your business. You're trying to figure out partnerships. There has to be a system and a process. So that is how you create expert influence. That is how, you level up in your business when it comes to having third parties, like media outlets, like podcasts, like having blogs written about you, being on the radio, being on television. It is a process. And those are the steps that I take my students through. So if, you're struggling with telling your story, if you're struggling with having videos like this where you can talk about your business, you're struggling with going live, you're struggling, with how you present yourself, you're not sure if people are showing up and taking you serious, let's talk about it. Click the link surrounding this video, because I really want you guys to start thinking on a higher level of, when I grow my business, how am I building that brand awareness? What is it that I'm going to be known for? Are they going to take me serious? So yeah, if you're doing that, I definitely want to introduce you guys to my coaching program, Expert Influence. In that coaching program, all of these steps that we talked about in this video is what we go through in an 8-week program. If that's something you may be interested in, you want to know if it's right for you, the links surrounding this video is going to connect you with me. But I do say, when it comes to being the expert and being the go-to person, that's who we all want to be, right? I definitely am after being the go-to person when it comes to public relations for entrepreneurs, because I know that we can't keep using the same old tactics that have been around before the digital age, that have, when I first started in PR, like I told you guys in past videos, I was faxing press releases because that was our main form of communication. But right now, like I said, you have so many opportunities around you, so many chances that you can take, and the divide that there used to be when it comes to connecting with your audience, when it comes to, getting in front of those investors or the customers that you want, it's become really small because of the digital age we live in, because it's so easy to reach out to people. So you always want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'm Jamelia R, PR coach and strategist. I've got 13 years of experience in PR, marketing, and events. I love working with goal-driven business owners who want to get more eyeballs on their business. So if you're looking for media attention, if you're looking to get more people to understand the value in your business, click the links around this video, book a call with me, take one of my master classes so you can understand the expert influence process. And I love to work with you. I'll see you later.